I'm Shannon Thrasher, and this is 30-Second Tactics. Today, guys, I got kind of a serious video. If you haven't heard, the ATF, through no real authority, has just decided that pistol braces are illegal. They're banning them, and there's an estimated 35, 40 million of them out in the population right now. What this will essentially do is turn 40 million Americans into felons overnight. There's a 120-day grace period, if you will, but overnight, 120 days from now. It has to be filed first, but everyone's assuming that that's going to happen Monday. And basically, 10% of Americans are going to be felons because the ATF just made up some rules. Now, if you know anything about the ATF or any other government agency like that, they are not allowed to make laws. That what they're doing is illegal and unconstitutional. Now, I've been a cop for decades, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form telling you guys, suggesting, implying, or any way saying that you should break the law. But that's what they're doing right now. But unless we fight it, unless we call our representatives, unless we get this change in the next few months, this is going to be essentially a law. It will be an unconstitutional law, but it will be enforceable unless it's ruled unconstitutional. Which means, 10% of Americans are going to be felons just because Biden's ATF is chipping away at the Second Amendment. So the finding that they released today, it's over 250 pages long, so I'm not going to sit here and say I've read the whole thing. But the basic highlights, if you're not familiar with what a pistol brace is, it's a brace, and to the untrained eye, it kind of looks like a stock, but it's designed to help people shoot a pistol more accurately, which logically, if anyone in the government and the ATF and Biden's crazies actually wanted to make guns safer, then common sense says making them more accurate would make them safer, because you'll have less people and things accidentally shot, because the more accurate a weapon is, the more, less likely it is to shoot someone you weren't trying to shoot. And of course, there's no, big crazy spree of people using pistol braces in crimes or anything like that. It has nothing to do with making Americans safer. Gun control has never been about guns. It's always been about the control part of it. And I'm not going to, ramble on for hours about that. You can look into that historically. Gun control has never been about reducing crime. It has never reduced crime. The assault weapons ban from 94 to 2004, all that resulted in is a whole lot more quote-unquote assault weapons being in public hands, and it didn't raise crime, or didn't reduce crime. It never does. I mean, the FBI findings themselves will tell you that more people are killed with hammers and baseball bats and blunt instruments every year than they are with pistols or rifles. But, this administration has got it in their head that those evil AR-15s and all the other pistols that are imaginarily used in a bunch of crimes, which they're not. The FBI statistics will tell you they're not. But, of course, the government, especially the federal government, especially Biden's ATF, has never been about, facts or logic. It's always been about taking more and more of the Constitution away from us. And I said earlier, that I support the law. I've been a cop for decades. I'm not encouraging anyone to break the law. But the ultimate law in this country is and has always been the Constitution. And for the ATF to make a rule or a law instantly turning millions of Americans into felons is unconstitutional. But unfortunately, until we, stand up and call our representatives and make a fuss and get this thing squashed, it's going to pass. 120 days from now, give or take a few days it takes them to file it. 40 million people. Most of these people I'm talking about have no idea that this is happening. Not everybody pays a lot of attention to the news. And, overnight, 120 days from now, there's going to be millions and millions of people that now are committing a felony that didn't know any better. That they followed the rules, they bought this firearm legally, they bought it with legal accessories, they've used it legally, and all of a sudden they've changed the rules. Now, there is some light at the end of the tunnel, because this is kind of the same thing that happened with bump stocks. The laws on the books clearly define a machine gun as you pull the trigger once and you get more than one shot. Well, bump stocks, while they may simulate a full automatic type firing, they do not result in more than one shot being fired with each trigger pull. But that didn't stop people from passing that ban. Now that's recently been found unconstitutional, and that's still kind of in the red tape era. They haven't made a final decision on that. But I think the pistol brace ban will also be found unconstitutional in time if enough of us stand up and say, whoa, 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 that's not right. But guys, this is up to you. Now I know this isn't really on topic for me. This is kind of a serious video for me, but I think it's important. I'm not putting it on my normal schedule. I'm going to put it out as soon as I can, and hopefully a lot of you will see it and take action. There's going to be a lot of other YouTubers, I'm sure, on there talking about it. Excuse me. I'm getting kind of worked up, guys. Sorry. I'm not going to make this too long. I'm not going to drag it out. Bottom line is the ATF, Biden's ATF is doing things they can't constitutionally do, they can't legally do, but they're absolutely going to do it if we let them, guys. So, you know, if you care anything about your rights, if you care anything about the Second Amendment, contact your representatives, tell them this is not okay. We can't let, you know, this administration run over our rights, run over the Constitution like they're doing. So guys, I'm not going to beat it into the ground. That's what I have for you. Please take this serious, take some action, look into it. Like I said, the report, the final, whatever they call it, their final finding is, I want to say, 293 pages long. So there's a lot to cover. I have not read it all yet. I've just kind of hit the highlights. But it's very serious. It's very arbitrary. It will not reduce crime. It will not make Democrat-run cities any safer. They've always been worse. It will not make, you know, neighborhoods safer. It will not reduce crime. It will only turn law-abiding citizens into felons. That's what they want to do. It's always been about the control. It's never been about the guns. All right, guys, I'm gonna let it go at that. I hope I didn't, you know, ruffle any feathers too much, but this is something serious. Please share this video. Push it out there, let more people see it. This has nothing to do with my channel. I would normally say, hey, please share my videos, but this one, you know, this, you're not sharing this for me, you're not sharing it for my little YouTube channel. You're sharing this for America, for freedom, and for the Second Amendment, and for the Constitution as a whole. So please do that, guys. That's what I have for you. As always, work, train, repeat. Stay safe.